listeners. This is your host, Tara, and welcome to episode 5 of Winter is Female. What's up,
What
Brittany?
up?
Hi.
Hi. We gonna talk about
so,
this shit?
gonna talk about the final episode to conclude the series. That is
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. I'm
You
eyeballing y'all DBs.
eyeballing,
Eyeballing.
lowballing.
I don't know. I felt very numb watching this episode. Which I have never felt watching Game of Thrones before. I've never felt numb.
Honestly.
I I think last week I was infuriated, as you all know. I was extremely fiery and pissed off.
Yep.
And I think like after a while it just kind of settled into like this cold ball of anger that just kind of
Cold ball.
it just kind of held my heart and it just kind of
I
melded
got
into
this
like this.
icebox
Yeah.
where my heart used to be.
But for real, I got this ice box and I couldn't feel shit watching this episode. Like I was just
Man.
like, this is happening. This is going down, I guess. We got a finale. It don't
Yeah.
feel like a finale.
Nope. It don't feel like a finale.
And they rushed the shit out of it, just like we said last week. They're gonna rush the shit out of it to get to Daenerys being a villain.
Yep.
Which again, I'm not against. I think that is a killer fucking storyline.
Boss.
But 2 episodes, bitch!
That's it. After
This should have been a 10 season or a 10 episode season.
absolutely after all that Daenerys I can't even say her name. After all that Daenerys has gone through.
And done.
Right.
Like her entire
And
mentality.
then her character arc just plateaus so
Yeah.
hard.
Like,
And
how do you take
it
someone
wasn't given
who's-
enough care. They just kind of
No,
dropped
they
the ball
just
on
threw
that.
the ball. And I can understand, like Tyrion gave that speech to Jon, and we'll get to it a little bit later. But when he gave that speech and he talks about how good they made her, like pretty much they all blew her ego up.
Yep.
They all blew her ego up, so she became like she has a savior complex, which I get. That is totally valid, and that's a dangerous person to have in power.
Mm-hmm.
But her entire mentality towards people that were smaller than her or not or inferior, quote unquote, has always been the same. She's always felt like she needed to be the breaker of chains. And, she brought Grey Worm out of slavery. She brought Missandei out of slavery. And she fought for them and they became her closest advisors. You know what I mean? So you can't say that it just doesn't fit her arc to go around blowing everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
It makes more sense for her. She doesn't like her authority question. So if they had been questioning her authority after they had surrendered, then that would make sense to me. And then she blew them up.
Right.
That would make more sense. Not her having an emotional rampage. It
just did. They just made Daenerys look very erratic.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
And scattered. These last
which
couple
is just
episodes.
so sad because she is gonna go down in history as one of the best female. Her and Cersei are gonna go down in history as the best female characters in TV cinema,
Absolutely.
probably. And I just felt like they could have had more respect for that and for George R. R. Martin's story and the world, and they really could have driven this home if they really wanted to, if they weren't so fucking concerned with Star Wars.
Yeah.
So fuck y'all.
Fuck yeah.
Let's talk about this shit, Tara.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
This shit here. So it starts off with Tyrion walking through the ashes.
Giving me Pompeii realness.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's all burnt to crisp or just sporting scars, and he walks past that one dude who looked like he was straight out of Saving Private Ryan.
Ooh, bitch.
Straight out of there.
Yeah.
And he starts to walk up to the Torch Red Keep to look for Jaime and Cersei. He wants to see if they made it out. And he finds Jaime's hand, which this honestly was the acting in Game of Thrones is always just top notch.
Absolutely.
And Peter Dinklage just it really hurt my heart. And I think he wasn't just crying for Jaime in that moment. I think he was crying for Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was crying for their unborn baby. And that was kind of dark.
Yeah.
That was kind of dark. How did you feel about Tyrion finding them?
I feel like when he initially saw Jamie's hand, I felt like a part of him was in disbelief, but a part of him was also like, okay, like I think I know what to expect here if I keep moving these
Mhm.
rocks. And then so that's why I think he did them like so carefully at first. And then like, eventually he started throwing them.
Mhm.
And then, and I also felt like, on top of, his brother being dead, his sister being dead, his unborn niece or nephew being dead, I think it was also like, I'm kind of like the last person of the Lannister name.
Yeah, he is
So,
very last.
and I also felt like,
Which is ironic,
right.
considering what Tywin, didn't want him to take his name and all that.
Exactly,
But
right. Like, he was the most bastardized character, pretty
mhm,
much, besides Jon Snow.
with a legitimate name.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like, and also like he's also telling himself, this is the history I have to bear with that name. Like, this is kind of how it came to an end. Yeah.
And now he just don't give no fucks.
Yeah.
Don't give no fucks, which was also stupid. No, it's not. I understand why he gives no fucks. But anywho, John is walking through the streets as well, and he comes across Grey Worm. And he's killing all the Lannister prisoners of war, which is also a war crime. So not only did she kill a bunch of civilians, but she's killing her prisoners. So on Daenerys' orders. Though this, no, it still don't make no goddamn sense because Daenerys gives people the chance to bend the knee, and she didn't give them the chance.
Yeah. Mhm.
They just
They were
completely torched
careless.
it.
Yeah.
She didn't give them a chance to bend the knee, even though she's always done that. And I get it, like they worked for Cersei, but she knew from Tyrion and from everybody else that nobody was actually loyal to Cersei. Everyone hated Cersei. I don't get it. I don't understand the motivations with this. And I'm trying. I'm
It
trying
don't make no
so
sense.
hard. And it's just she decides to kill him, and Grey Worm going along with it didn't surprise me, I suppose.
Nah, Grey Worm to ride or die for Daenerys at this
Yeah.
point.
Like it didn't make sense to me last week at first, but then like when I really thought about it, he's always just gone with whatever Daenerys has said
Mhm.
and done. So why would he question her now? He's
And
never questioned her.
I also think on top of his loyalty to Daenerys, like Missandei's loyalty to Daenerys, like with her death, like that just solidified that no matter what Daenerys did, he would never turn on her.
Exactly.
Just
She was the
after her,
last one.
right?
The last. Oh, that. Ooh, you right. That
Yeah,
was the motivation.
yeah, yeah.
Grey Worm makes more sense than Daenerys, y'all. And he a minor character. What the fuck?
How the fuck am I the character had more shit?
So Arya sees Jon walking through towards the soldiers. After he gets done with Grey Worm, killing the soldiers, he's basically pissed. Jon is, and he decides he wants to go talk to Daenerys about showing mercy. And Arya sees him walking through the streets, and she's following along like a fucking ninja.
Right, like an assassin would, a protective assassin sister.
And as he walks up the stairs, Daenerys walks out. She rides Drogon in, and she walks up to greet her soldiers. And she's dressed in this bomb ass black outfit. The costume, you know what? Everybody except the fucking writing has worked really, really hard on this finale and this last season, and it shows. It's a beautiful season.
Mhm.
It's fucking gorgeous. Their outfits are that black, honey.
Yeah, the costume design is spot on.
Yeah, and she's changed from all
Yep.
white. She wasn't all white. What was that? Not last episode, but the episode before.
Mhm.
Last week she was all in black to signify her going into madness, I guess. Which I get what the costume director was going for. I just don't know what the BBs was going for.
And I also feel like that served as her moment as like the revealing of like the true villain of Game
Yeah.
of
Ooh,
Thrones. But
yeah.
like that's like really big contrast, like because
Mhm.
they were like, yes, let's adorn her in like pastels and
Mhm.
light colors, and like when
Back in
she
the
was
day, she was innocent.
going in North, and she was wearing all those blues and like
Mhm.
all those really pastel colors, and then like slowly they're like, okay, winter's here, then they got
Mhm.
the white, and then now she's just like Night King's
Black.
right, all
Just like
black.
Cersei.
Yup, yup. Mhm.
And even Drogon is black. I mean, like, I guess I never really paid attention to Drogon's colors before, but he is black. He's the biggest and her favorite. So I guess that was an oncoming foreshadowing of who Daenerys could end up being. But he spreads his wings as she's walking out, and that was such a dope ass shot
Oh,
with the wings behind her. She
yeah.
looked almost demonic, in my opinion.
Yeah, like little satanic, little
Yeah,
bit.
like a little creature that come out at 3 o'clock in the, or is it 2 o'clock in the morning? That's the bewitching hour. I think it's 3 o'clock. Some late. That's what she
Late.
looked like. She looked like she belonged in that hour.
Yeah.
But it was such a dope ass show. Like I said, the season is gorgeous. It's just the writing and the sense of it and the plot just doesn't make much sense. But she comes out and she addresses her soldiers and her Dothraki. And the way she spit in between Dothraki and Valyrian or whatever the fuck the Unsullied speak is just fluent.
She knows the dialects of her people, okay?
From Winter Valley to sounded German, didn't it?
So aggressive.
Valeriot!
I'm just like, what? It's like, oh, this is very like, dude. You know what? That's I sent you that screenshot to you from Amelia Clark's Instagram with
Mhm.
her overlooking the soldiers. Also gave me Nazi Germany World War
Yeah,
II. Like,
definitely dictatorship.
yep.
That's exactly, I think, what they were going for.
Besides the obvious
Fascist government. Yeah.
Star Wars references.
We're not gonna mention Star Wars
Yeah,
because
World
y'all
War
tripping.
II elements.
Y'all tripping, DB. I'm so pissed off at y'all. But yeah, it was very fascist, very gray, dark, bleak,
Washed out.
very bleak, very washed out. And it was scary. I was legitimately like, that was a moment where I was like, oh shit. And had they built it up, like, that moment would have just really hit home. It really could have.
Yeah, if they had done better with her
Mhm.
character arc, that scene could have been a lot more pivotal.
Mhm. And all we needed was a couple, like, I'd say like 3 more episodes of watching her
Mhm.
descend into being paranoid, and then like watching her kill one innocent person, or like something to
And
signify this.
and that also kind of makes me angry because like the way they dressed up her father about being the Mad King and
Mhm.
like how like delusional
Mhm.
he was, you think they would give her the same respect
Right.
considering she's supposed to be a parallel to her
Right.
father.
You would think. You would think. So she's clearly ready to take over the entire world because she does not. She's always said that she was going to stop at the Iron Throne. Her entire goal was the Iron Throne. And now she's talking about liberating the world of tyrants, even though she herself is clearly a fucking tyrant.
The irony.
The irony, bitch. You're a tyrant. When the shoe fits, Hitler.
Damn.
Use a Hitler. So Tyrion is clearly watching this. When they mentioned Lannisport and Winterfell, him and John kind of, their ears kind of perked up because she clearly, they don't understand what the fuck she's saying at all in that moment. But
Oh, that's true. I didn't even
yeah,
think about that.
they don't know what she's saying, but it's very clear that she is not done with what she wants to do with the world.
Oh, that scene just kind of changed for me.
Yeah, it's very
I
dark.
didn't
Very dark
I didn't
scene.
pick up on that like that.
Yeah, they just got her tone.
They're just like Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Winter Valley Dornot. Run a sport. I forgot what they call Karth.
Just sounds so German, very heavy German influence.
Valyria.
That's probably why they shot that scene like that because of the World War II
Yeah,
thing.
it was definitely.
Yeah.
I wonder if when they were creating the languages, because that was Valyrian that she was speaking in that moment, I think. Um, I wonder if they modeled it after German.
I feel like they might have.
They probably did.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about all the languages. Mike and I were discussing. Mike is my husband. If y'all don't know, we were talking about it because he does not like Game of Thrones. He doesn't like anything that is
Oh.
a fad at all. He's just like, why do people watch this? Blah blah blah. He doesn't give things a chance. It's just he's devil's advocate. It's just who he is.
Yeah.
Uh, but we were talking about it. And he was like, I don't get it. Like, it's so popular, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? They said the same thing about Star Wars. They said the same thing about Star Trek. They teach the languages in school. I really do feel like one day, 20 years from now, people are going to be learning how to speak Dothraki, and they're going to learn how to speak Valyrian, and it's going to be a legitimate like language. And
Like how they did with Tolkien and
exactly.
Elvish language and all that.
And then like you learn about the history and the lore and shit. Like I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be a major, but I think it's going to be classes and shit on George R. R. Martin stuff.
Oh, okay. Like how they did with like George Lucas and
I
fair enough.
definitely think so. And he doesn't think so, but I'm like, I don't think you understand the power
Yeah.
that this has. So they can clearly understand what she's saying.
Mhm.
And they walk up. Well, Tyrion walks up in that moment because he's pissed. He has believed in Daenerys for all this time,
This whole time.
and he kind of gave her. He kind of looked at her. I kind of think of Tyrion looking at her as almost like a godlike figure.
Like idolizing her.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
idolized her a little bit. It is very clear that they're having a hard time dealing. They all idolized her, and it's clear that they're having a very hard time coming to terms, just like we are coming to
Yeah.
terms with the fact that she did what she did.
Mhm.
So he walked at her, clearly mad, clearly with his dead brother and sister still in his mind, and he throws his hand down in front of everyone, very, very extra, very dramatic. Um, but yeah, to let her know that he quit, and she takes him. She has Ian Sully take him. Ugh. And it's just so sad because Tyrion really did believe in her. And in that moment, he
He
just
really did
don't give a
fight for
fuck
her.
anymore.
Yup.
Whatever.
I mean, and I can understand that he was like, I've literally lost like everything
Everything.
because to prove my loyalty to you, and
Mm-hmm.
it turns out it was completely for nothing. So.
For nothing. 'Cause she's a tyrant, just like
Mhm.
Cersei was.
Yup.
So she has the Unsullied take him off, and John steps up because he's watching this entire thing go down, and he's clearly kind of upset about Tyrion being taken away.
Yeah.
Because they've always gotten along, because Tyrion has always understood where John's mind was being a bastard. Like we said, he was a bastard with a legitimate name, pretty much. And Arya pops up out of nowhere like a motherfucking assassin.
Sneaky
Why did she?
sneak.
She hasn't used this at all since last season. I mean, I guess in the Night King,
Yeah.
but it's been a while. But she sneaks up and she basically tells him, "I know a killer when I see one. She's a killer.
Yup.
We gotta do something about this shit." And John is being stubborn and very John-like.
Very John like.
John has been a consistent character this entire. John has not had an
So
arc.
freaking so freaking honorable
He has not
all
had
the
an arc. He
time.
hasn't changed much. Maybe I need to rewatch the earlier seasons to reevaluate that. But I don't remember John like changing. He used to be. I guess he used to be kind of arrogant in season one, but that changed pretty quickly when he
Once he
joined
got
the
to the
Night's
Nice
Watch.
Watch, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they kind of shattered that.
yeah. So he hasn't really changed.
I guess
He betrayed the Wildlings, I guess,
yeah.
kind of.
So, I get I wouldn't say he changed, but I definitely think he had like a complete story.
Yeah, yeah, and it seems like they kind of completed his story before this season, or in the middle of the season a little bit, so they didn't really know what to do with him. Because he hasn't think about it, he hasn't done much this entire season. Actually, he hasn't done anything remarkable, or
He ain't came back
he
from the
slept with his.
dead.
No, he hasn't even slept with Danny this season. He hasn't done shit this season. He screamed at a dragon. He rode a dragon.
I mean, they got whole movies on that.
So anywho, John walks in to see Tyrion, and Tyrion gives him this entire pep talk about pretty much why he should kill Daenerys. But
It's like, dude, okay, he's like, look. So if you don't see this shit,
and Tyrion has taken. He
there's
didn't.
no
He didn't
hope.
believe it last episode, and all of a sudden Tyrion. Well, no, I suppose she did blow up a bunch of people, but
I mean, that's a pretty blatant thing to do.
yeah, you can't support that. You can't support that. But he is trying to talk sense into John, and John is just being a noble idiot. He is just such a stupid ass.
Dude.
And it's like, He's so noble and he's so honorable, and he made this promise to bend the knee to Daenerys, and he's in love with her, I guess.
I guess.
Even though they didn't really establish that much, they were just all of a sudden in love.
They never DTR'd. Oh, define the relationship. Oh, sorry. with a little, with a little, with a little 2010. Whoops.
It's like, what's that?
Yo, your face.
What
You're
the
like,
hell is that?
what's DTR?
You know I don't know shit.
Fair.
The fuck was that? Um, so John is just not. He don't want to do it, and
He
it's so
ain't with the
dumb.
shit.
He down with the shits, and it's so dumb. And the only reason that he started to think about it is because Tyrion brought up Sansa and Arya.
Dude,
Because of course they're not going to bend the fucking knee. And you know that.
I wouldn't
Sansa
either.
don't get two fucks about Dany and her dragons. She don't care.
Even when they flew over Winterfell, she was like, so?
Fuck you and your dragons.
Honestly, you can still fuck off. How about that?
Sansa don't get no fuck. Arya's not turning against Sansa now. They went through all they shit with
No.
Littlefinger. She don't. They not gonna do it.
They not gonna do it.
And
No.
you know they're not gonna bend the knee. And she already don't fucks with people that don't bend the knee. If John hadn't bent the knee, he didn't, and she didn't burn him right away. What the fuck is your strategy, Daenerys? Like, when do you burn people and when do you not? I'm
I
confused.
guess when they're fuckable. I mean, basically.
That one dude was fuckable.
Which one?
The one that burned with his daddy,
Oh,
Samuel.
Sam. Oh, he was. I don't know. Maybe she like broody. I don't know.
Northern.
And northern, yeah. I don't know. And like
And stupid.
a little bit wild.
Who knows nothing? I just don't get it. And Tyrion tells him love is more powerful than reason. And it's very true. Because when you love somebody, you just explain away all their faults. And that is what John is doing. He's explaining
Yep.
away all her faults.
Mhm.
Uh, but his sisters ain't gonna go for it.
I can't go
And
for
he's
that.
not gonna lose
No,
the sisters.
no, no can do. Yeah.
Okay. So Danny walks into the throne room, and it's the same vision or same setup that she had in season 2, where she saw the throne room
Yeah.
all torn apart, except in her vision it wasn't as torn apart as it is in real life. I don't know if you have you seen the old vision or remember have seen pictures recently of it.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looked like a lot more.
Yeah, it had the star still in the background. It still had more of the building left.
Yeah.
And this is some deep shit because in her vision in the past, she walks up to the throne. It's covered in what looked like to be snow, and now we know it's a mixture of snow and ash.
Mhm.
And she walks up to touch the throne in her past vision, and she doesn't. And she turns away, and she walks into this curtain, and Khal Drogo and her unborn son are there.
Mm.
And now we know that this moment in time is her walking up to the throne and then going into the afterlife to be with Khal Drogo and her son, which is some pretty deep shit. If you
Yeah.
see, I just y'all imagery and shit was just spot on. It's just the full through, just
The the pull through, yeah.
ugh. So she sees that and she doesn't touch the throne again. Didn't even get a chance to fucking sit on the throne. And Jon shows up. He begs for Tyrion's life. He begs for her to see what she has done, and Dany is steadfast in what she did is right, and she does not see. She understands why he is upset about what she did, but she tries to convince him that she is correct and no one else is right, which is something that Dany definitely that was definitely Dany like. That was Daenerys like.
Everyone is wrong and I am right. That's literally her.
So do what the fuck I say.
Right.
And I guess I don't know. This scene to me, it was beautiful and also cheesy.
Okay, explain.
Because like I said, the imagery of it was beautiful. Her all in black, her touching the throne but not getting a chance to actually sit on the throne. She's been fighting for this for her entire fucking life, and she didn't even sit in it. I think that's all beautiful, and even her dementia or of not understanding what she did was so wrong because she can't get her eyes off the goal.
Mhm.
But like the build up music in that time when like her and John are standing close together, and I had this assumption that John was gonna kill her. I kind of predicted that a while ago, a few seasons ago, because of the Azor Ahai prophecy.
Right.
Um, and I figured that Danny would be the Nissa Nissa of the Azor Ahai prophecy, but and I don't know if it's because I kind of figured that a long time ago, or if it's because they set it up so much. But in that moment, I was like, well, John's gonna kill her, and I just didn't feel anything. Like I was just like, this is clearly happening.
Yeah, cuz they kind of left it open ended in the previous scene with him
Mhm.
and Tyrion. He's
Yeah.
just like you know what you have to do, and he's just kind of
Mhm.
like I ain't trying to
Yeah.
hear that. So they left it kind of open as to whether he was really gonna do it, but also John's
It was clear.
honorable. Like
Yeah.
he,
It was clear to me what he was about to go do.
yeah. And then that kiss.
Yeah, I didn't care.
John looked disgusted. Like he
Yeah.
looked like he only did it just so he could have the advantage to like stab her.
Yeah, he did look disgusted. He looked disgusted the last few times they
Yeah,
showed
he's like,
him.
ugh.
I can't tell if that's Kid Harington's face or like if I can't tell with Kid Harington. But I knew what was gonna happen. It felt cheesy with the music and stuff. And why was she bleeding out of her mouth if she got stabbed in like the stomach or the heart or whatever? What the fuck? Uh,
None of that made sense. I was like, wait, what?
but what really did get me was Drogon came strolling up because he felt his mother die, and he's clearly so upset. And he's the only person I feel bad for in this entire fucking
Honest to
episode.
God,
Because he
yeah.
has lost everybody. He's lost both his brothers. He's lost Masande, who he's been around forever. He's lost Jorah, who's been there since he was born. He's
Yeah.
lost Danny now, who is his mother. And I just feel so bad for He's the only one I feel bad for because he was clearly so up. He nudged her.
Yeah.
And I was just like, if you are a pet owner,
If you're a pet owner, one
like I
day.
just imagine, like, what if my dogs found me one day and they tried to nudge me and it just made me really sad.
Yo.
It made me so
Aww.
sad for Drogon.
On the real, that would suck.
Like, oh,
And I've seen those videos of like dogs that are fully aware that their owner has like passed. Like I saw one, it was like a little husky, and somebody showed him a picture of his owner, and he was like actually sobbing. Like it was so sad. I was like,
I just can't. They're just
pets
so
are so
smart.
pure. They're so pure.
And they love you unconditionally. And dragons
Right.
are supposed to be smart as shit. So I think he understood. I think he
Yeah.
truly did understand that she was dead.
Yeah. Mhm. Definitely.
And it's just, ugh. And he torches the Iron Throne, which was
Man.
supposed to. That was one thing that I was like, that was kind of corny when he torched the throne.
I thought he was gonna light up John, but
I did. I would have been so here for him killing John in that
but
moment.
but John wouldn't have burned because he's a Targaryen, right?
That's not true. Only Daenerys didn't burn as a
Oh,
Targaryen. All other
okay.
Targaryens burned, y'all, because Viserion burned with the
Oh,
golden
oh, right.
thing, and they throughout history have burned. Danny was the exception.
Mm.
And they still don't know. Oh no, in the show, she is the unburned, like truly the unburned. In the books, though, she is not. It's just that she walked out of that because blood magic was happening, and that's the only reason she
Oh,
survived.
okay.
Or at least so far in the books, we don't actually know because George R. R. Martin won't write the shit. Sorry, I kind of understand why he hasn't written. I think he's just a lot of pressure at this point.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, so he would have burned probably. It would have been a nice theory to work in there. If he didn't burn, I would have been cool as shit too.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Drogon torch him. Is my point.
Would have been an epic death in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that would have been. I don't know. Just burning the throne was just kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
And why did he do it? Like, I get that dragons are smart, but did he really understand the concept of the throne?
That's yeah. That's I feel like that's more of a like humanist.
Yeah, that was just them trying to be smart.
Yeah.
That was the writers trying to be symbolic.
Yeah.
I like subtle symbolism.
Yeah. Same. Like if it's like too in your face, like
Yeah, I
less
wasn't.
is
I
more.
wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. Too on the nose. So then we go to some fucking time jump that we don't even know how long it's been. I'm
Oh
guessing a couple
yeah,
weeks.
John looking real grizzly.
Yeah, real grizzly.
I would assume maybe like a couple of months, or maybe a month or two.
Yeah, I can see that. And then all the lords, the lords that are left, come together at King's Landing to
Yo,
decide their
the
fates.
ultimate family reunion. That's literally what it
Yeah, exactly,
like.
exactly. But I don't understand. What this is why I don't understand, John.
Okay.
If Drogon took Danny's body, which we did not mention, whoops. He took her
Oh
body.
yeah, he took her body. Yeah.
Why did you tell them what the fuck you did? Like,
Well, I figured they were gonna ask like, "Where's Danny
I
at?"
guess, but he
But
got a lie. I don't know. Yeah,
you know, I don't. No, John would have snitched as soon as like Grey Worm found his ass. He would have been
yeah.
like, "I killed
I killed her
her,"
right away. I fucking
and
killed
then
her. I
Grey
had
Worm would
to.
probably would have killed him. So he's just like,
That's what I don't understand. Why did the Unsullied keep him and the Dothraki keep him alive? Because what the fuck do they care what the Lords of Westeros think of them killing him? He killed their
"Oh,
queen.
right,
What the fuck do they care what the Lords of Westeros think? Why was Grey Worm at this council? Why didn't they just fucking kill him? I don't get it. They
well,
don't play by the same politics.
wasn't Tyrion technically?
They would have killed Tyrion too. I
Oh,
don't
that's
get
true.
it.
Yeah, he really had no place. They probably just put him there just to put him there.
No, I mean I don't understand the entire concept of them doing this because Jon should have been dead.
Oh,
Either way it goes, Drogon should have killed him. The Unsullied should have killed him. One of the Grey Worm should have killed him, and Tyrion should have been because they. I don't see a scenario why they kept him alive. I don't get
hmm,
it. I don't understand the motivation, and I don't know why they decided to do this fucking trial because the Unsullied went to back to Essos anyway. So why does Jon have to go to the Night's Watch? Because they decide that they can't kill him.
right.
No one wants him dead. Arya says fuck you. Yara wants him dead for some goddamn reason because apparently she's super loyal to Daenerys. Um, yeah, I just
She was probably being petty.
no, I think she really did support. Apparently, they just decided to make her.
All of a sudden,
I mean, like she was loyal, but like
yeah,
I didn't get the Grey Worm type vibe from her, you
yeah.
know, like
It
or
was a little
Missandei.
extra. Yeah.
And I was like, why do you care, bitch? You've been at the Iron Islands like this whole time.
This
You
whole
haven't been fighting. You haven't been helping.
you ain't done shit technically. You really ain't done shit.
Yeah, you got captured, and then you went back to the Iron Islands to sit. Whatever.
Yeah.
So they decide on John's fate. For some reason, he's alive. And they decide to send him back to the Night's Watch. And they didn't even mention the fact when they start discussing the kings.
Right.
They didn't even mention him as like someone to put on the throne. You know what I mean? Like they never mentioned it. And he's a fucking Targaryen. They never even mentioned it.
I well, I guess with him being the person responsible for
Yeah,
killing Daenerys, like that was
yeah,
just
but
out.
Stannis was in charge of killing Renly, and he was
Uh,
still considered king. And
oh, I mean, yeah,
Robert
that's your
killed
little brother.
Robert killed Rhaegal or Rhaegon and Rhaegal. Which one is it Rhaegon or Rhaegal? That's her actual brother, not the dragon. I think it's Rhaegal. He killed him. He
Yeah,
became
Rhaegal.
king. You
Yeah.
know, it's not untraditional.
Oh, that's true. Um, I don't know.
And Jamie could have taken the throne when he killed the Mad King, and he decided not to. That's more in the books.
Oh.
But he could have taken the throne if he so chose, because he killed the king. Y'all forgot about y'all
Inconsistencies.
world. Is all. Yeah, yeah, I forgot. It's all good. It's all good. So they just forgot that John was Targaryen and the rightful heir to the throne.
Yup.
Somehow he's still fucking alive, even though Grey Worm would have. He was killing all the Lannisters people with like no hesitation. He don't kill John, who killed his queen, with no hesitation. Just don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. And I also think considering that Dany did get the order, or no, maybe she didn't get the order to kill Tyrion yet. Maybe that's why they didn't kill him
Oh,
because she
maybe.
just said take him. But
Yeah.
it was very clear that she was planning on fucking killing Tyrion.
Definitely. Like a public execution. Very. If she had done that, it would have been a parallel to Ned Stark.
Exactly. Oh, that would have been. Oh God, that would have been bad.
It would have. It
So
would
they
have hurt
decided to
just
send
as
him.
bad.
It would have. Drogon was the only one that hurt me this episode, to be
Dude.
honest, to be real.
Yo, oh, that dragon, whatever that dragon roar he did,
Oh,
I was
that
like,
was sad.
oh, you missed your mama, you know.
So they decide on who should be king, and the Uncle Edmure stands up,
This,
talking about how he should be. And nobody likes Edmure. No one's ever
he
liked him.
always that,
Just
like,
talking.
he's just that relative that always gotta say something.
Yeah, just shut up. And then like says like a boss bitch is like, Uncle, sit down. And he does, which is kind of sad. And everybody just starts laughing and shit. Robin Aaron is there.
Dude,
Robin has grown up.
glow up.
Serious glow up. Milk do a body good, right?
Breast milk.
Ugh. Ugh, I said ugh.
Ah.
But he how old do you think he is? Like 16, 17?
Yeah, he look, yeah.
That's crazy. He was a
Yeah.
kid.
Mm-hmm.
You little.
I mean,
Throw him
this
out
show
the
been
moon
on for like
door.
10 years.
Make him fly out the moon door.
Moondor. Oh, what a time. Loved Moondor. For House Tully. R.I.P. House Tully.
So Sam suggests democracy, which I actually thought that they were gonna go for. I thought that was gonna be the new wave, but no, they all fucking laugh at him, which I thought was fucking hilarious, honestly. But they decide that they're going to do this more. It's actually more like what we have today, like more of not exactly like we have today, but kind of like the not the electoral college, but more like a republic where
I
you
see.
you vote. Well, not really, but more along those lines where you have select individuals that
Similarities.
select very similar to electoral college, where very select few people choose the president.
Right.
And then they can do it based off the recommendations of
The people.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't change much shit because the houses are still by birth. And not only that, but there's going to be corruption in that later with them voting because people are going to
Stuff
bribe people into
ballots. Yeah.
exactly. So it ain't
Elections.
shit.
Yeah,
It ain't shit.
election
I ain't do shit.
scandals.
I guess y'all tried. Y'all worked with what you got, but they decide that they want Bran to be Bran, who hasn't done shit in seasons. In
Bran.
seasons.
Bran Stark.
Who sits there and stares at everyone with like no emotion.
None.
But apparently the actor is saying he's more like himself now. Well, bitch, I ain't see that. I haven't seen that at all in the story development that he was back to himself or like
No.
starting to.
No.
No.
Not at all. What are you talking about?
Why
What?
Bran? I mean, I guess he can see future, present, and past, but that's great. None of the other three Eye Ravens, I guess, it would have made sense to be king. I don't know. I'm not here for Bran being the king. He ain't done shit. They ain't built that up.
Yeah, I would have had him as an advisor for sure.
Yeah.
An advisor, definitely, but
Like, what the fuck?
actually sit on the throne.
And then he was like, "Why do you think I came all this way? You're just talking like a few episodes ago about how you couldn't be the Lord of Winterfell.
Right.
Why do you want to be king?" Unless he was just saying that shit because he knew he was going to be king.
He probably did. He probably did.
And he just kind of let all this shit happen because he knew he was going to be king.
That'd be.
Which is kind of shady.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Right. He had to have
Honestly.
known.
Why do you think I came all this way?
I'm over it.
Mm.
And John heads up north with Tormund, and he
Yup.
finally pets fucking Ghost, which I was happy. I felt so bad for Ghost, and he finally pet, and then Ghost gave him a little nose butt, and I was like, yes, that is what a puppy does. You take care of your puppies.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't got no pets, but I know.
You take care of your goddamn puppies. Made me sad, but he's
Mhm.
the Moses of fucking
Dude.
the Wildlings leading them all up north again for some
Dude.
reason.
Stop.
He is. Pardon Red Season shit. Why? Why do they even have a Night's Watch anymore?
There's literally no reason for one.
No. There's no more whatchamacallits. I forgot what the fuck they're called now because they spent way too much time
The
off
White
the
Walk?
season. Yeah. Without dealing with them.
Yeah.
Like, what was that even for? Why did the Lord of Light keep John alive? Like, what was that for? I don't know. Like I just felt like they just let a lot of stuff fall
Fall
through.
through.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and they just didn't give a fuck, and it was very clear that they didn't give a fuck, especially in the last two episodes.
Yeah, they just kind of let loose. They was like, look, this shit gonna
Yeah,
land how it's gonna land.
and in retrospect, like what was the point of these episodes being an hour and a half? Because ain't shit happened really, if you really think about it. And why was episodes one and two different episodes? That should have just been one fucking episode setting up
Hmm.
the battle, and we could have. I don't know. I'm disappointed as a fan.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed, and I wish that it's better than other series finales. It's better than Lost.
Oh.
It's better than How I Met Your Mother. Because that entire fucking last season was just a train wreck, honey.
Ooh.
And Lost had a few seasons of train wreck.
I
So,
didn't watch Lost, but I have heard.
yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty stupid. It was pretty dumb.
Yay.
Dexter, trash,
Oh
trash.
man, yo, that
I
was
think
my
those are the
show.
only ones that were like really bad for me. Where I was like, the series finale was just trash.
You just chilling in a fucking cabin? Fine.
You lumberjack now, motherfucker. You
Dude,
get your
what?
kid up,
You
son,
went from being a whole ass serial killer of serial killers
and
to
then
chilling in the
lumberjack.
cabin.
And all of a sudden, your whole thirst for killing motherfuckers is just gone. Okay.
After your father has taught you the code for how long? Come on.
All right, Dexter.
All right, Dexter.
So it's better than those. It's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. And
Definitely.
like I said, I'm numb to it. I'm just kind of over it. And I wish that it wasn't this way. Mm.
We'll see. We'll see what happens when the.
I'm not even excited for those anymore. Like I'm like, you know what though? It's not HBO's fault. So hope maybe they'll have the same team and they won't feel like they have to rush everything because
Hmm.
that's what we liked about Game of Thrones. We like the slow build up and we like the payoff. Like think about because people were kind of comparing it like once they ran out of source material, they kind of went bad, and I
Right.
disagree with that because our last season without source material was Battle of the Bastards, Winds of Winter. And think about how slow that season was. Like there wasn't a lot of shit that happened until the
No.
very end of that like they were just building up to Battle of the Bastards
Hmm.
and they built up to her blowing up the Sept and
Yep.
them revealing who Jon Snow's heritage was and all of that and they didn't have a slow burn because they were trying to get too much done.
Yep.
And we don't watch Game of Thrones. Like we love the spectacle, we love that dragon fire, but we don't watch it for that. We watch it for the intrigue. We watch it for the character development. We watch it for
Yep.
the fucking acting because their acting is phenomenal.
Hmm.
Um, and for the plot and the slow burn of it all. And they just forgot the slow burn. They just lit the fucking match. That's
They're
all I
like,
gotta
okay,
say.
all right.
Lighting fucking matches and exploding shit. Specifically, King's Landing.
Oh, damn. Damn.
But Game of Thrones is over, y'all. It is what it is.
Yeah. Huh. Really great series coming to a close. A disappointing close, but a close. Guess you can't complain about closure, right?
I can.
Title of
What's
this
up,
episode.
DBs? I ain't watching y'all Star Wars shit either.
Oh, we.
I know I'm probably not the only one salty about it.
Yeah, no,
There's
definitely
a lot of
not.
people making excuses for them, but I don't fucks with excuses.
No.
Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Y'all were over it. Y'all were done.
Y'all was tired.
Yeah.
Y'all was tired. Y'all
I
sick
was
and
real
tired.
tired. I get it. It's tiring. I bet. But
Mm-hmm.
like, just give it to somebody else then. Give it to George R. R.
Oh, yeah.
He would have wrote. No, he wouldn't. He would have taken forever to write the episodes for him. But it's all good.
It's cool. All right, listeners. So we just have a little Winter's female announcement. Just want to let you guys know we're gonna take a little bit of a hiatus. We just want to take a little bit of time and figure out some nerdy content for you guys, and we got like personal life stuff going on.
First, yeah.
Yeah. So we want you guys to stick tight with us. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, and then we'll drop an announcement when our new episode is out. Hopefully in early June. We'll see how it goes. But we appreciate every single one of your listenings. Listenings. Jesus. We appreciate every single one of your listens, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Bye.